I rock all pink like Cameron. Said she in the back, no pants on. My stick, only thing, take a stance on. The suits flow damn right, 2 hands on. Might flip galaxies like Samsung. Finish her, finish me, no shanks on. West side Tennessee, where your man's from. 2 strands, like grandson. Vaughn, R.I.P. She gon' take a shower, okay B.O.B. I'ma stuff a cone, hit an incline. TAC, we gon' make a flick. Hop on TLP, she ain't gon' deny. She need my energy, and I ain't gon' deny. I was energy, I was in it, saying plenty things.
Hey world, what's going on with y'all, man? I think I'm gonna do this in a 2-part video, pretty much. But basically, this will be my first video. Like I said, I'm gonna do it as a 2-part. Try not to ramble, but it's basically going to consist of my, I guess the first part, you know, kind of my background into trucking, what I've done, and what I plan for this, my YouTube vlog to be, and what I plan to share with y'all on my YouTube. And then on my part 2, it's kind of going to be my, you know, just kind of like a follow-up to me getting my first truck, and the process of getting my first truck, leading up, dealing with the dealership and dealing with the bank and everything like that, and actually, you know, getting the truck back up here, all that good stuff, man. It's it's a hell of a story, that second part. It'll be a little short story. I'm gonna make it short, but it'll be a good one though. It'll be a good one. So yeah, man, like I said, I'm gonna start this part 1, and I'll re-record this part 2 maybe later today or tomorrow or something like that. But to start off, I started trucking in 2017. Got into it. I went and got my CDL on my own. For anybody, any new drivers that are watching this or up and coming, you know, are thinking about getting into driving, I highly encourage, if you can afford it, or if you can get, you know, whatever you want to do to make it happen, go get your own CDL. Don't go to someone to get your CDL, as in Swift or, you know, CR England. I think they do it too, but you know, companies like that will give you your CD, you know, basically train you to get your CDL and everything. Just because I don't know if they still do it. I know when I was getting mine, you know, you had to sign a contract. They were getting into that because people were going into them and getting their CDL, and then they would leave before, you know, they leave early. Basically, they go get their CDL, run for a couple months, and then go wherever they wanted to go really after that, and they wouldn't have to pay anything, as far as I know. But those companies like that have stopped that. Basically, they make you sign a contract, to where, you know, you have to drive for them for X amount of time after you get your CDL before you can leave and go somewhere else. And I don't know what those contracts consist of. You either gotta, you know, pay the money back, you know, they, you know, basically put it on your credit. I don't know what they do, honestly, but I wouldn't want to take that risk if I didn't have to. Be best, man, to go get your own CDL, man or lady. Go get your own CDL, and just go that route. That way you can pick exactly where you want to go your first, for your first job. You have to pick a litter, because at that point, it's gonna be so many in the litter. You gonna have plenty of them. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I did. I went and got my own CDL. I made sure I got all my endorsements after I got my CDL. Well, I got what I could before. I think at that time I took mine, I think I was able to do my tanker and my doubles and triples before I actually got my CDL. After I got my permit, I could do my tankers and my doubles and triples, and then after that I had to go get my hazmat. I think that's how it went. I know now you can only get your tanker, and then after you get your CDL, then you can get your doubles and triples and your hazmat. So, but just definitely get them all. I would say get them all after you get your CDL, or whatever order. But once you get your CDL, get all of them. It's good, man. That way you're not missing any money. Certain companies, that stuff pays great, honestly, man. Like, especially hazmat and tanker and doubles and triples, honestly, man. Like, that's why I say, like, if you just gonna get out there and do regular trucking, you're not gonna pull no hazmat, no chemical, non-hazmat chemicals. You're not pulling no doubles and triples. If you're just pulling regular straight 53-foot vans or less or whatever, you're gonna look at everybody in this industry like, what have y'all been talking about? Where's the money at? Because there is no money, honestly. If you just pulling regular stuff, you have to get those endorsements to make that good money, and if you don't, you have to kind of know how to navigate. If you don't have those endorsements, you got to know where to go, what companies to run with, and kind of how to navigate through that company without endorsements to where you can make good money. And it also depends on what your budget is, your monthly every life budget. Every monthly, everyday budget. If you can handle that kind of, those kind of that kind of pay, go for it. But like I said, I think everybody should go and get all their endorsements. But yeah, that's what I did. Got all my endorsements, and basically, like I said, I went to Maverick for my first company, and they ended up helping me get my TWIC card. I like Maverick. Maverick's a good company in my opinion. The new hire pay is okay, but I like the company, not for the pay that I had, but I like the company in general. Trucks were good. It's just a good company, honestly. I like them for some reason. It could have just been because it's my first company, But yeah, then I did, like I said, I got my TWIC card through them, so that's also a good thing to get. You get your TWIC card, and you can get access to TSA as well. That also helps you. TWIC card when it comes to ports, that helps. And then when it comes to certain refineries and stuff like that, it helps because they require you. Most of them require you to have a TWIC. Some of them don't. They will give you an escort to navigate through their refineries and everything, and any other kind of plants that require it. So it's good to have that TWIC, so that either you don't have to worry about an escort, you don't have to wait for them, or you don't get denied, But like I said, that's also comes with if you have a hazmat and tanker endorsement too. If you don't have those, most time you won't get into those kind of plants or anything like that. So that's why I say everything that you can get is important. I'd get my passport, depending on what company you're with. I get my passport, my TWIC card, and all of my endorsements. That way you're not missing nothing. You have no reason to not make any kind of money. So yeah, Maverick was my first company. I ended up going to FedEx Ground. After Maverick, I pulled doubles with a friend of mine. We were running team. Only reason I left that, because it paid great money, and I love pulling doubles. Only reason I left, though, was because I just didn't like the team aspect. Somebody else is in control of your life while you sleep. I didn't like that. If you got any questions, you can, about any of this, any questions about any of this, y'all can ask me in the comments or something, or I might make a separate video, kind of pinpointing that topic. But like I said, went to FedEx Ground. After that, I went to Landstar. I started off pulling hot shots at Landstar for a contractor. Hot shots on a 40-foot. 40-foot. 40 foot 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 40 gooseneck, hot step deck, whatever you want to call it. It's honestly, it's literally a low pro step deck, to be honest with you. It's only like 3 foot off the ground. It's 40 foot. You know, it was, I liked it. I liked it though. I loved it, honestly. My contractor was just kind of getting out of it, and plus two, I kind of wanted to get back into the 18-wheelers. He started buying 18-wheelers and getting rid of the hot shot, so I went ahead and hopped in one of the 18-wheelers and started running that. Put a 51-foot step deck behind me because that's all Landstar offers for some reason. I don't know why. But like I said, the hot shot was good though, man. At that time, I think it was like 2019 when I was running that. I would gross anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 a week on a hot shot with Landstar. I don't know if it's still possible now. Like I said, it was 2019. I started off with one. He had an older Chevy. It's kind of fixed up a little bit, modified. It was okay, but then we ended up getting a brand new Chevy. It wasn't brand new. I think at that time, I had a 2017 or 18, but it was a good one though, man. I liked it. Though it was typically brand new for us. I think I only had like 200 something miles on it. It might have been in 2018. But yeah, so I did that. We ended up going to pull vans. Not vans. We ended up pulling, hopping in regular 18-wheelers after we started phasing out the hot shots. Did that for a while. And then from there, my partner, he bought his own truck. He said he was gonna buy his own truck. I told him, if you do, I'll drive for you for at least a year. So that was our agreement. I ended up driving for him for 2 years. We took his truck to Bennett Motor Express. So I left Landstar with that contractor. I was riding with my partner. Not riding with him, but driving for my partner. Yeah, went to Bennett Motor Express, pulled a 53-foot low pro step deck. Love that. Love the extra inches that it gives you, and it was 53 foot as well. So I was pulling oversized. I started pulling oversized with Landstar. I forgot to say that. Even with the hot shot, I was pulling oversized loads with hot shot. I could do up to 12 foot on a hot shot, which is all I ever wanted to do anyway. I may start getting into bigger when I get back into it this time. But I didn't, at that time, I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to deal with escorts and stuff. Not because I was scared or anything like that. I just didn't want to deal with escorts. So it may not be bad, honestly. So I think I'm gonna try it. I think I'm gonna give it a try. But yeah, so back to that, we went to Bennett Motor Express, 53-foot low pro step deck, pulling oversized and regular freight, of course. But I liked it. It was a good company. I like Bennett Motor Express. In my opinion, and this was back then as well, like 2020, they didn't have, I think it was about 2020. They didn't have enough loads, in my opinion, for me. This is for me, that paid good enough. So I kept finding myself, I had to find an agent that could make this happen over at Bennett. But I kept finding myself booking loads from Landstar's board as well in order to make Bennett's work. So I would take some loads from Bennett, get to a certain area. Now I gotta find something through Landstar because Bennett's not looking good in this area. So yeah, basically I was like, after a year, I was thinking that if I keep having to book loads off of Landstar, why not just go back to Landstar? So I took the truck. We took the truck over to Landstar. I didn't start off pulling step deck. I wanted to try van because, most times step deck is 8 to 5 for anybody who doesn't know. Most of the time, step deck companies that you pick up and deliver from, they run from 8 to 5. They have banking hours. So, I was like, let me try a van because there's a lot of van companies that run all day, 24 hours. There's some that, they don't work 24 hours, but they work late night. So I was like, let me try this out, see how it goes. It might not be that bad. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Van was not for me. So I did it for about 2 months, maybe 2.5, and then from there I moved. I found an agent with Landstar that had a ABF account. So for anybody who don't know about ABF, they pull doubles. They had an ABF account pulling doubles. I love that account. It's gotten slow over time. I think because stuff might have started picking up, because this was kind of during COVID. I don't know when they started the account, to be honest with you, but during COVID, it was booming. And after COVID, it was booming. It's like I said, it's gotten slow over this 2023 to 2024. It's gotten slow, but yeah, I love that account, man, because it was like it's all drop and hook, terminal to terminal. You don't hook any of your doubles up. Their yard jockey does it for you. Yeah, their yard jockey does it for you. And plug my phone up, about to die. All right, but yeah, their yard jockey, man, they do everything for you. They hook up the sets and they break down the sets. Only thing you have to do, come in, give them your paperwork if you're dropping off, pick up paperwork if you're picking up. They tell you where to go. You go find your set, check it out, hook up to it, do your tug test and everything. And after that, you hit the road. I always say, I'm gonna say definitely, if somebody else is hooking up your sets, always pre-trip it, man. Always. I don't care how good they are, how long they've been doing it, always pre-trip it. I wouldn't always find stuff, because ABF yard hustlers was usually pretty good, but every now and then you might find a little something here and there. But always pre-trip your sets, especially when somebody else is hooking up. If you're doing it yourself, you still want to pre-trip it after you hooked it up. Just a quick little walkthrough. But yeah, always double check, man, behind everything and everybody. After that, I ended up coming off the road. My girlfriend wanted me to. Well, no, it wasn't that. I ended up coming off the road actually because I had something else going on at that time, and I had to come off the road. But my girlfriend did want me to come off, but it didn't have to be so soon. But I ended up having to come off. Didn't really have much of a choice. I didn't really have a choice at all. But honestly, I had to come off the road. I ended up going to driving local for Southeastern Freight. I like Southeastern Freight, man. It was real good. It's real nice pulling doubles with them. I worked overnight doing the, I forgot what the title was called, to be honest with you. Shuttle driver. Yeah, I was a shuttle driver. So I would go, I had like 3 locations within Dallas I had to go to. It was Garland, Dallas to Fort Worth. Not in that order. Most times it was like Garland to Dallas, Dallas to Garland, Garland to Fort Worth, Fort Worth to Garland, or I may go to Dallas, Garland to Dallas, and then sometimes Dallas to Fort Worth, and Fort Worth back to Dallas and back to Garden, or it's just however they always, sometimes I may go all the way back, Dallas, Garden, Garland to Dallas to Fort Worth, and all the way back to Garland. So it was just, it was cool. It was cool. But it also was repetitive, and it like I said, it kind of I got bored with it. Honestly, it was good money. They did pay hourly though. So of course, you don't get overtime until, I forgot how they did their overtime. If it was after 10 hours a day, or it may not have been actually. It may have been after you hit like 50 or 60 hours or something like that. I don't know. But like I said, man, it was a pretty cool job, great benefits and everything like that. So I would definitely, I recommend Garland. I recommend Southeastern to anybody wanting to get into LTL. But if you get into LTL, most of the time you gotta have your hazmat. Not gonna say most of the time, depending on what company you go to. But yeah, I would say still you would need your hazmat, doubles and triples definitely if you go in LTL. Unless you're doing like certain companies that may not have doubles and triples, but I think majority of the LTL companies, they do have doubles and triples, majority of them. So I would recommend that. Yeah, after that, man, like I said, I kind of got out of trucking because I was like, I need to take a little break from it. It had gotten repetitive and boring. Just, the drive was boring. I think it got that way to me because I wasn't doing step deck anymore. I feel like if I was still doing step deck, I may have still been a little bit more interested. Or even if I just had my own equipment. I kind of got tired of driving for everybody else too. It's like I need to start making my way into something to where I can kind of work for myself. So, like I said, I took a little time off. I started dispatching for my old contractor with Landstar that I used to do hot shots for. I was his third driver at that time when I came over. When I left, he probably had about maybe 10, somewhere give or take. But I think when I came back, he had, I'm gonna say 25, and it was somewhere in between 20 to 30 drivers when I came back to dispatch. And honestly, I came back to be an agent because I knew he had a little agency, but his agency wasn't big enough for me to come back and be an agent. He was able to run that himself. Plus, I would have had to learn, which he started teaching it to me slowly, but not too quick because it wasn't that big. He had to grow it, but he knew, once I came back, he was like, I'm gonna start working on it, start growing it, so that you can help out with it. So he did that. Like I said, I started dispatching his trucks through Landstar, and then eventually I started doing the agency as well. So I was doing dispatching and working on the agency side. I said it was cool, but eventually we he got, before I left him, we had gotten up to about 60 trucks. So it was a lot. I kind of had gotten away from the agency side of things because we had so many trucks. It's kind of hard to juggle both. But what was I gonna say? Got away from the agency side. It's kind of hard to juggle both, and it's basically, I was getting burnt out on that because it was so much, and it was kind of hard to set boundaries for these drivers and stuff because I was also, eventually based off of commission. I had a salary, but my salary ended up being cut down a decent amount, and the commission got bumped up a decent amount. But in my opinion, it was kind of hard to make commission with drivers because y'all know, for y'all that don't know, drivers are some big ass babies, man. Y'all, I'm a little bit more laid back when it comes to me being a driver. I do what I got to do to make things work. But if I always have a vision as well. But man, trying to kind of tell drivers like, hey, I think you should take this one. We can get, I know some agents in this area, all that good stuff. And they're like, nah, I think I want to take this one. It pays better. Like, yeah, it does, but look at where you're gonna end up at. You're gonna get stuck or something like that. So it's kind of hard dealing with drivers and telling them, hey, this is what I think you should do, compared to what they thought they should do. And it's regardless of what I think and what they think, if they do what they think, my pay is still based off their commission. So that's why I kind of was like, I can't keep doing this because, I built the lifestyle from, and it wasn't just a completely expensive lifestyle off of what I used to make. I had an issue with my truck. My truck motor went out, and I just didn't feel like paying $5,000 to $8,000 to get it replaced or rebuilt or whatever. And it was an older truck anyway. It had done lasted 250,000 miles. I had a Nissan Titan, but truck motor went out. Like I said, I didn't have the money at the time to put into it like that. But once I went and got me a new car, and with the plans to, I was like, since I work from home, I say, I can buy this car and use it for when I need it, but I can also put it on Turo or something like that. So I was like, yeah, I can, I just do that.